38 degrees at 8 a.m. You can hear the wind coming through the crack in the door. Can't you, T-Rex? Are you ready? Yes. Come on, let's go. What are you doing? What's the question, Rex? Let's go. Let's go. What's the question? I don't get it. He's like, are you coming out? I mean, it's raining. I don't really like going out in the rain by myself. I don't really like going out in the rain at all, to tell you the truth. It was snowing here about an hour ago, so I guess the lack of intensity allowed the snow, which mixed in with the rain around 4 a.m. Yeah, I was up for that to go back to rain. So no snow on the ground here, but it's a totally different story in Vermont. I'll take you to a friend of mine from college. Bruce Schmidt is the GM now at Okemo. He's got challenges this morning because 2 feet of snow and wind and power outages. Sometimes too much snow can slow us down. Hundreds of thousands without electricity in the state of Vermont, where it looks like southern Vermont above, say, about 1,800 feet came in with 2 feet of snow since yesterday morning. So that's close to an inch an hour for 24 hours. So it was all it could be. Very interesting data coming out of western Massachusetts. Greenfield, an inch. And then you get up to the tops of the mountains, you get over 20 inches. And then in Dalton, only 8 inches. Thank you all on Twitter for sharing all of this stuff. Dalton, 6 inches, but how much water is in that 6 inches? How much water is in my rain gauge? Well, there's an inch, it runneth over, and there's another inch down here. So I had about a half inch yesterday morning when I emptied it. We'll go with close to 2 inches of water equivalent. So where it was all snow on the tops of those mountains, that's where we got our 2 feet of snow. And it's going to let up now, especially in the Berkshires and southern Vermont. But northern Vermont is going to keep on going, facing this way to try and be able to block the wind. I guess I can get down here. We can look at that. Oh, what's that in the fire pit there? That used to be a flagpole? Yes, it did. Anyhow, I'm still on the record going for more than 2 feet of snow at J. And it is snowing very hard this morning. Question is how much longer? Probably all day. Reporting about a foot so far there on the Canadian border where it started later, and it was very dense. Believe it or not, it was more powdery snow in southern Vermont than it was in northern Vermont. So good base building. Do you hate it when we say that? Good base material. So we had sort of cream cheese snow last night, especially at the lower elevations. Now it's going to turn powdery as the wind turns around. Interesting tweet from Stephen this morning about the summit of Mount Washington, where 7 inches of snow fell in 6 hours pre-dawn, and a foot of snow outside the observatory is the most that's been on the ground there. You know, it's very windy since February. And now the wind yesterday was from the southeast. It's going to turn around, come from the northwest. So all that snow that fell near the summit was blowing toward the west. It's going to start blowing toward the east. Do we have avalanche danger in Mount Washington at Tuckerman this morning? Maybe. I doubt too many people there because it's been so meager in the snowfall department. Yeah, so the wind is shifting here in the Boston area. I think we're going to get some sunshine today. We should get into the lower 40s. The mountains in New Hampshire and Maine did okay too. 10 to 20 inches of snow. So all the ski areas are in pretty good shape, except for maybe like Blue Hill. Wachusett even got a net gain of snow. So skiing is as good as it's been so far this season today. The roads may not be so nice. Upslope snow is now going to happen in northern New York and northern Vermont and much of northern Maine, just getting into it. So you can see on the surface map the old low that caused the blizzard, where they got 30 inches of snow in Minnesota. There's a trough there, that orange dash line connecting the low that just went over Boston a short time ago, and it's along that convergence line, and it's going to keep on snowing, upslope snow. So snow in the air is going to become much less dense in the mountains, and places along the Green Mountains and up through northern Vermont could pick up another 5 to 10 today. Tomorrow it does look like it's going to let up a bit. Then there's going to be another little surge of the upper level low that used to be the blizzard, which was over the Midwest, comes across northern New England. So another burst of snow in some of our mountains tomorrow night. Otherwise, it looks fairly tranquil and fairly chilly in southern New England. The real cold air, way down in Utah, Bryce Canyon, is 11 below zero. That cold is headed toward the east, and it's going to come in here for the middle of the week. I've been watching this high temperature map for Thursday. We've been showing this since a few days ago, where it was 20 to 30 below in the northern plains, and the magnitude of that chill has eased. Now it's 10 to 20 below in the northern plains, but the magnitude of warmth in the east on Thursday has increased, and you can see the yellow going all the way into the Midwest and New England. And yesterday there was an upheaval in the guidance department regarding our potentially historic storm that's going to come in Friday and Saturday before Christmas Sunday. Most of the guidance now takes that plowing through the Midwest with the rain snow line going up into southeastern Canada. There's the Euro. There's the Canadian. And the one that we've been making the most fun of lately, the GFS, has mostly snow here. So it is hardly a done deal. We talked about it at one point. Today's 2 feet of snow in Vermont was either going to be rain or it was going to be a storm out to sea. So the waffle windshield wiper effect is on with the models going back and forth. I do like the fact that there is a strong high in Quebec, and this one should be a colder high because we don't have a retrograding clipper to infuse it with warmth this time. And so I think the cold probably wins out for the most part. You can't really get a handle on the exact details. Just know that we are in for a potential historic, likely blizzard somewhere between Boyne, Michigan and Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. Just had to come up with B's there. Yeah, there's a lot of other places too. And Boston. Yeah, it's not even out of the question here. Oh, this one's for you, Martin. The models that don't show any snow for southern New England heading into Christmas do show a little snow on Nantucket. Okay. So it's going to be very busy. I should be chasing weather, but instead I'm chasing like family duties and, you know, holidays and all that. And I really get a kick out of covering the weather play-by-play down here. And I really get a kick out of Ross Budd supplying us these secret videos. I can't tell you where he is this morning. I'll just tell you he's somewhere between Albany, New York and Concord, New Hampshire.
At least 15 inches.
Thanks, Ross. Hopefully I'll catch up with you today. Talk to you.
Coming up on the old lift line trail. Used to get off right over here. I think it might have been a T-bar here. There's an old lift shack. By the way, I don't want to tell you where I'm at. We don't want this stuff published. All right. This definitely skiable. And you know what? It's not that wet. Check it out. As a matter of fact, it's a lot drier than I thought. And here's the old Glade Trail. Ready to go. 15 inches in here. Oh, gosh. At least 15 inches. Okay. Wow. Hey, let's get the lift going. Come on, you guys. Wake up. Jeez. It's almost 9.